If you live in Tasmania, have ever visited Tasmania, or have even heard of Tasmania, there's a fair chance you've heard of Cradle Mountain. Tasmania's premier wilderness destination, it's a part of the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area and the Cradle Mountain Lake St Clair National Park. But not everyone can climb Cradle Mountain. It's a challenging and dangerous climb, taking between 8 and 10 hours to complete. But that's not all to do at Cradle. In this video, I will visit and guide you along two of Cradle Mountain's most scenic walks that people of all ages can do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out all my other videos for more high quality content on transport and bushwalking all around Tasmania. The two walks in this video will be the Dove Lake Circuit and the Mount Kate Track. The Dove Lake Circuit is very well known and busy, so I will describe and explore it first. When you arrive at the Cradle Mountain Visitor Centre, you have to either purchase or bring a Parks Pass, which is required for park entry. You must then purchase shuttle bus tickets, which cost $15 for 3 days on the bus for an adult, or completely free for children. However, children must still hold a ticket. You will need them to board the shuttle bus at the southern end of the complex. This will take you down to Dove Lake. Along the way, it stops at the Ranger Station, Snake Hill, and Ronnie Creek. Upon arriving at Dove Lake, you are greeted with this large viewing shelter built by Parks and Wildlife Tasmania to enhance the experience at Dove Lake. The Dove Lake Circuit then starts at the bottom of the hill near the water's edge. You can do the Dove Lake Circuit in either direction, but I will recommend you complete the track anti-clockwise, which is what will be shown in this video. Weather conditions at Cradle Mountain are always changing, and although it is sunny in all my shots here, it can change to snow and storms in an instant. Pack for this and be prepared on the track, especially if you venture out to the higher elevations. From the bus stop, head down the hill to the lake shore where you can admire the view. Continuing on, there is a photo stand before a gentle climb up to the Lake Lillitrack junction. Turn left here to continue on the circuit, and continue down the hill to the water's edge where you can admire the Dove Lake Boat Shed, a historic landmark from the early days of European settlement in the area. The track slowly winds its way upwards from here, heading southwards. Amazing views of Cradle Mountain and the surrounding peaks are always present on this walk. The track briefly becomes steeper to climb over a ridge jutting out from the Cradle Plateau, but after that there is a beautiful descent with amazing views of Cradle Mountain all the way to the Boreal Forest. This is one of the most scenic sections of track around Cradle Mountain, and having a break among the picnic spots along the way is definitely a good idea. You might even be able to spot one of the seasonal waterfalls running down the side of the plateau. After walking down the hill, you arrive in the Boreal Forest, where moss seems to have grown everywhere. The only place similar to this in Tasmania, to my understanding, is Pine Valley, about a 4-hour walk from the Narcissus Ferry Terminal at Lake St Clair. After leaving the ballroom forest, the walk continues as it curves around the southern end of Dove Lake. You have now passed the halfway mark. There is a picnic table here, and the track from here on is mostly flat. You'll pass many beautiful pencil pine trees growing along the waterfront, and the views along here are stunning. Make sure you look back behind you whenever there's a gap in the trees. The views of Cradle are well worth it. The final landmark of our journey is here, Glacier Rock. This is a lookout perched on a massive glacial rock on the shores of Dove Lake. The views from here are amazing, definitely worth a look. After Glacier Rock, the home stretch is here. The shelter is in sight, and it's just a short walk back to the bus stop, or you can catch the bus back to the visitor centre or to another stop for the views. The circuit normally takes between 1.5 and 3 hours to complete, accounting for stops for snacks and for looking at the incredible views of the mountains along the way. For our other walk, we're going to head back up the road one stop to Ronnie Creek. This is the start of the world-famous overland track and features a car park, a picnic area, bus stop, and walker registration area. The Mount Kate track is much less well known and more run down than the Dove Lake circuit, so expect mud and bushes. Bring your boots and bushwalking gear if you have any. To start this walk, cross the road bridge on foot before turning onto this small pad, following signs for the Blandfordia Heart. When the turnoff for this is reached, continue further on and reach the end of the boardwalk. This is where the real track begins. About 20 minutes later, you'll reach the first incredible discovery, which I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's definitely an old and historical site. If you know anything about what this might be, perhaps an old copper mine in the area, or something related to the sawmills that used to operate here, comment below. About an hour after leaving the old ruins, you'll arrive on a ridgeline with amazing views both of Mount Kate itself and of the Cradle Mountain area. You'll even get views as far away as the walls of Jerusalem and the west coast. After passing through beautiful pencil pine forests, climbing over small boulder fields, and you'll eventually get up onto the flat slopes of Mount Kate itself. When you finally reach the top, it's marked by a stake in a can of rocks on top of a small outcrop. This is the end of your walk. Turn around and go back the same way. This walk will normally take between 3 to 5 hours. There's a small steep section about an hour in, but aside from that, this walk is fine for people of most ages, and the views from the top give you a unique and beautiful view of the Cradle Mountain area. It's also one of the only places where you can see Hounslow Heath in a way that doesn't make it look like just a small hill. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's a new type of content for me, and although I've been a bit sick while recording this voiceover, I think it's turned out pretty well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on Tasmanian.